How young is too young when it comes to the school council? 6? 5? 4? According to head teacher Jane Armstrong and deputy head Karen Ingala, even the youngest children are capable of making decisions, negotiating and expressing their opinion. That's why Farnborough Grange Nursery and Infant School not only runs a school council, but encourages all the children to participate, even the tiny ones.
School council meets about every half term, and what's on the agenda to discuss depends very much upon what's happening in school at the time, any wider issues that are apparent or issues that are raised by the children. In this particular case, we've been working on the school improvement plan for the next year, and the children were particularly interested in developing the outdoors. So we've decided that the school council could actually put forward a bid for funding, and they're going to meet to find out all the children's views upon the school grounds, what they like about it already and what they'd like to develop for the future. Before we have a school council meeting, we think it's important that every class is fully consulted. So we devise a questionnaire, and the classes all have an opportunity to discuss the questions there in full. And then the school council reps will bring the answers to the school council meeting.
So we've got a letter from our school council. It says, "We've worked very hard on our recycling and water saving. Now we need to think about the rest of our school grounds. And there's 8 questions for us to discuss and to put all our ideas and all our opinions down. We're going to do the first couple of questions together, and I'm going to split you into groups, and you're going to go and sit at the tables, and each group has got a question to discuss."
Teachers can either have a whole class discussion about it, or they might break into groups. That all depends on how the individuals wish to conduct the questionnaire.
We have put up bird and bat boxes and bird feeders because we've got those given to us, didn't we, when we wrote some letters? How can we get more animals?
Get more birds.
Okay, how do we get more birds, Bailey?
Well, if we sit at the bird table, we'll make up loads of birds so birds can drink from it and have a bath.
Oh, so a bird
My
bath. Because we haven't got that, because it says we've got bird boxes and bird feeders. What a good idea.
When my nan throws bread out there, my nan gets birds and my cats kill them.
Well, we haven't got very many cats around here, so I think we're going to be safe with that. But I think the bread's a good idea. Where could we get the bread from? Where do we have leftover bits of bread and toast?
From after school club.
After school club and in the morning.
Some people say that children, as young as they are in nursery and infant school, might not be capable of understanding the purpose of a school council and to be able to think a little bit more altruistically. We take the view as a school that children are very underestimated in that sense, and we know that very young children soon find ways to get their own way and to influence things right from the time they're in the family, from the age of about 2. We start from quite early on in the nursery, introducing the idea that you can actually wish for a better world. You can begin to think beyond yourself and your family and towards thinking of yourself as part of a school community. And then we begin to make links beyond that to a wider community and a global community.
Jason, I can see you're ready to explain. The question their group had was, are there any other toys, games or things that you would like for outside? And Jason, what did you say?
Basketball.
Want some more basketballs? Okay.
Yeah.
Would you like to tell us one of them, Luke?
The football pitch and the train track.
Oh, so we said we use the football pitch so much that perhaps we ought to have another one. And that tied in with Connor, you said about
Benches round the football area.
benches and chairs for spectators, a bit like a crowd, like the World Cup, so you can actually sit and watch your friends playing and then take turns playing. And what did you suggest that we use on the train tracks, Raz?
Remote control cars.
Remote controlled cars.
The school council have influenced and changed a number of things for the good within the school. Most recent examples of that would be they collated all their friends' interests so that the reading books that we bought were in line with the most dominant interests within the school. Pupils have also requested that more of the curriculum links in with sport. There's been requests for more games to be used within the literacy hour. We needed to have new playground markings, and all the children came up with markings that they would like, including designs of their own. And there was a vote in each class of which the favourite markings were, and those have all now been painted outside. So I think quite quickly the children get to see that they really can have a voice for the future.
Each class from reception to Year 4 selects a boy and a girl to represent them on the school council. Karen chairs the meetings and takes minutes, whilst another teacher attends to provide help and support.
In your classes, you've all been talking about the school grounds and how we're going to improve the school grounds, and you've brought your minutes with you today. Here we go, Harry. Can we please put our red hats on? What happens when we wear the red hat? During our school council meetings, we use the thinking hats because we find that it helps everybody have a say. So everybody speaks in turn from each class, and we think or feel in the same way according to the hat we're using. The purple hat is everything that you might moan about. We call it the moaning mini. The yellow hat is all about the positive points. The red hat we interpret as really not going into your head at all. It's just your gut feelings about things. And the white hat is just factual information. The green hat means ideas that can be as wild as anyone would like. And then finally we have the blue hat, which takes the broad overview. It's the organiser and enables everyone to take stock and consider what the next steps will be. Our question is, what do you think about the school grounds? Yeah, would you want to begin with Red Class? Would you like to tell us, Red Class, what were the things in your class that people really did like, that were very popular?
Building nest.
Building nests. Ah, you've been doing that, yes.
Use apparatus.
And using all the apparatus outside. Thank you very much. What was popular in Blue Class? What do people like?
Flowers, tyres, climbing equipment, willow maze and vegetable garden.
Okay, flowers, tyres and your vegetable gardens. Okay, thank you very much, Blue Class. And on to the next class.
Playing Doctor Who.
Playing Doctor Who.
And making hideouts.
We use a toy in the school council meeting because that's particularly friendly, accommodating, not threatening to young children. Yellow hats on, please, everyone. We put the hat onto the toy and all the children would mime putting on that hat. So we're making it a very tangible experience, making it as real as we can to young children. Are there any more toys, games or equipment that you would like for outside? Any good ideas coming from Red Class? More space hoppers. I'll put you like that. On to the next class, Blue Class.
Amphitheatre.
Stage or an amphitheatre?
A stage or a theatre?
Space
Hoppers.
hoppers.
Particularly space hoppers.
Bike.
Lovely.
Space hoppers, skipping ropes and bikes. From
Thank you.
class.
What did your class think?
Dead ends.
A maze with dead ends.
And rock climbing.
Rock climbing.
Cars to play in.
I think we talked about bumper cars, didn't we? Is that the sort of cars you meant to play in? We record minutes in a fairly informal way, drawn out on a very large sheet of paper. There are 6 thinking hats in the various colours. And as we explore the issue from the perspective of each hat, I will make notes and draw pictures by the hats. This A3 sheet goes back to every class, and then there's an opportunity for the school council reps to talk through from that sheet what was discussed within the council meeting. But we also take really key points to assembly and we reiterate those main points there to the whole school. After a wide wait this morning, which is more than I can say for Harry and I. Harry and I were up very, very late last night. we had a little bit of a problem. Do you know who's in this bag today? Still asleep. Have a guess. What do you think it might be, Ryan?
Cheeky monkey.
You're right, it's Cheeky Monkey. Now, Cheeky Monkey got to hear about the school council meeting last night because Harry came home and wanted to tell him all about it. We use a puppet in assembly called Cheeky Monkey. He's really well known to all the children in the school. We need to explain to the children in quite a gentle and child-friendly way that whilst all their ideas are really good, they're not all going to be possible. And those that are possible and realistic aren't going to happen overnight. By the puppet waking up in the morning and being really disappointed that the school didn't look like Chessington World of Adventures, we're able to really talk this through and enable the children to think this through carefully. And in fact, it's their realisation when they explain to the puppet what is likely to really happen, but for him not to feel too disappointed about it. So we're dealing with their feelings about this. Right, he's going to look out of the window next and... Oh, wasn't quite what he expected, was it? So we're going to need to do some explaining. I think I'll come over to Lily because he'll listen to you, won't he, Lily? I think you come out and tell Cheeky Monkey nicely.
I'm sorry, Cheeky Monkey, but it all didn't happen. Just some of the things will happen later in the year.
Oh, he's looking a bit happier now. Because he looked really disappointed when he looked out the window and it wasn't all there. But he's starting to cheer up a little bit. I think he's starting to understand. Do you think you could explain to Cheeky Monkey, yeah?
There's no rides here because it's a school, Cheeky Monkey.
Oh, he's having a little think about that. OK, he understands that. Thank you very much. I think that's helped him a bit, isn't it? There are potentially quite a wide range of problems in running a school council. One of the difficulties can be initially children actually understanding that role. And we have a school council meeting at the beginning of each year after members are elected, just discussing with the thinking hats what a really good school council rep can do. And I think as their understanding of their role develops, so does the contribution that they can make from their class within those meetings. It can also be difficult if children are quite shy, and although they might be vocal in class, they may clam up within the meeting. Sitting in a circle on the floor and making it an informal and non-threatening way of discussing things together means that everyone's heard, even the quietest voices. But all those structures have to be put into place to overcome some of those potential problems. We really do believe in the democratic process, so we encourage children to really have a very honest voice, you know, working towards the future within this school, within this community and within the wider community.